Now, as to the question of identity and whether or not you need someone else to validate your identity, here is what I say. If you can consider yourself intelligent without external verification and validation, if you can consider yourself smart, handsome, beautiful, any of these other things, any of these other traits, though they may be mental and or physical, they're still aspects of your humanity. They're aspects of your existence. And you can stay rooted in those ideas, regardless of whether or not other people validate you, or at least you should be able to. So if this is true, then to this argument that we shouldn't call ourselves Africans because Africans don't see us as Africans, there are plenty of people who don't see the intelligent person as intelligent. There are plenty of people who don't see the handsome man as handsome. If the handsome man relied entirely on, or even partially on, external validation to feel like his handsomeness is true, where would that land him? Where would that land? Where would he end up? If the beautiful woman really, truly, honestly, 100% needed outside validation, external verification of her beauty, where does that leave her? So if that is the case, why is that not the case on our identity? Hell, over half of the country doesn't see you as American anyhow. So to say, don't call yourself African because Africans don't see you that way. Well, most Americans don't see you as American. They don't see us as human. If you can hold on to your humanity, in spite of the fact that this country has said you hardly equate to 3/5 of a human, in spite of this country now, and yes, that was in the past, but in spite of this country even now, look at what they're doing in Texas. As far as your political power is concerned, they're redistricting the voting maps so that as a voter, black people only exist as 1/5 again. Or maybe even worse. I think it may be 1/8 by now. So again, the notion of external verification should be the root and the anchoring in which you lay claim to an identity, a characteristic, a trait, a label, is ill-conceived at best, if not rooted in ignorance or some other adjective that, even if I were not at a loss of words to mouth it, I would be begrudged to even name it. I mean, after all, Garvey called us Africans before the whole world was ready to accept it. And almost instantly when he did it, most of Africa, most of Black Africa, most of Sub-Saharan Africa, almost instantly said, oh shit, it's time to wake up. You know something? He right. That is true. They, us, we, them. And that's just off for Garvey. Nkrumah came. Nkrumah came along and said, not only did he think it, he preached it. Not only did he think it, he practiced it. And he said, you know something? Y'all got this all wrong. He said, I'm not African because I was born on the continent. I'm not African because I was born in Africa. I'm African because Africa was born in me. That's a global declaration. So even if you do encounter some Africans who are not woke, Africa was born in me. Africa was born in me. And think about this. Consider what Malcolm X did. I mean, Malcolm went so far as not only did he travel to the continent, not only did he make connections with people on the continent, people in high position, people in mid-level positions, people on the ground. They gave him the name Omowale, and he adorned himself with it. Why? Because he knew that they are us and we are them. And he came back and he started opening up, setting up the Organization of Afro-American Unity. So if we got Garvey waking the world up, shocking the world by letting the world know we are African. We got Nkrumah reminding us off the continent and everybody on the continent, Africa was born in me, that we are African. We got Malcolm X saying, I am African, we are African, and he says it in many speeches. None of these people waited for permission. None of these people waited for external validation. They just proclaimed the truth and the facts as they stood. Now, if it wasn't true, that would be another whole story. If it wasn't factual, that would be another whole story. But those are the truths. So even though I still stand by the notion that anybody can call themselves anything that they want, I'm going to root my position in facts. And I would be remiss if I didn't touch on this. So let me say perfectly clearly, because just because other people don't want to accept your label, that has nothing to do with you. Someone else's opinion is none of your business. And I'll give you very good examples, and I know you're not going to like them. But the mere fact that you have trans people, if a trans man can say, I am a woman, he don't care. She don't care. What it don't care if the rest of us accept that label or not. If a trans woman can say, I am a man, she don't care. He don't care. It don't care if the rest of us accept that label or not. Now, these folk may care if you try to do something to them. They may care if you try to impose your will upon them and restrict their rights. But they don't give a good goddamn if you accept their label. They're not going to change who they say they are, who they think they are, just because you, just because he, just because she, just because we, just because I say it doesn't make sense to me. I don't accept that. They don't give a good rat's ass, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't care, because that's their identity, and it's for them to deal with, and whether they are accepting it, whether they are struggling with it, whether they are living their best life with it, that is all on them. So again, identity is yours to claim. And I will even go so far as to say, yes, even the pretendians. Yes, even the pretendians who say we was never there. Okay, and no matter how much I want to rally against it, no matter how much science rallies against it, no matter how much history and truth and facts rally against it, they still have a right to proclaim whatever label they want. Now, none of us have to, we don't have to accept it. We can join in and say, I salute you for your declaration. We can join in and say, yeah, me too. Or we can stand on the side and say, oh my fucking God, this is ridiculous. But either way, they have the right to proclaim themselves. And as long as they have the right to proclaim themselves, even if I talk against it on every stream, on every live, on every social media app that I go on, they still have the right to proclaim themselves. I will speak my logical debunk. I will speak my logical stance against it. But my opinion of their self-declaration is none of their business. And so I say this because I will continue to talk out against those types of declarations. But I will say this, not in a hypocritical sense. I will say, just like freedom of speech in and of itself, I may disagree with you, but I defend your right to make the statement. So anybody can disagree with me, but you cannot change or cannot force me to change my label. It is a part of my identity. It is a part of my freedom of speech, and so on and so forth. Now, with that said, so let me add this. Let me finish with this. Let me land my plane, if I can. If you can claim intelligence without a diploma. If you can claim beauty without a crowd, why can't you claim Africa without continental-wide permission? Africa was born in me.